Open up questions for Wilguens Junior Exacte and Javontae Campbell.
Will, I mean, once again, you guys obviously just such a great effort, but just so tough to come up short once again. I guess just what are the emotions? Obviously, such a great second half for you guys, but obviously Kent State's offense just was really clicking as well tonight. Just kind of just how tough just to come up short again in a big game like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough loss. In the first half we were kind of slow, and in the second half we were trying to catch up and make the right plays. Tonight Kent State was just a tougher team.
Javontae, just obviously offensively for you, you're able to get to the basket a lot in the second half. Just kind of take us maybe through just that mindset. Obviously, Kent State's scoring a lot, but I mean, you guys are right there with them, in that second half as well.
We just got to string a few stops, but coach put me in positions to score. When they score, we know we got to stay in the game, things like that.
Obviously, still playing with that wrap on your hand and everything. I mean, how challenging is it, playing through that injury, playing with that wrap on your hand, and still producing at this level and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's all good now. I've basically got used to it. Just got to keep going and not worry about it. Just play the game how I usually do.
Well, you guys obviously crashed the boards really hard. Obviously, a good game for you off the bench, especially offensive rebounding. How big kind of was just maybe that energy, crashing the boards? I know Jemai had that nice save and feed to Marcus for a three. Just talk about that mindset a little bit of really attacking the glass.
Coach has been telling me, he needs somebody to rebound, and he put a huge emphasis on that for me. So I'm just out there, just trying to grab every single offensive rebound that I can, and just help our team win as much as possible.
Javontae, you made some tough clutch shots down the stretch of this one. How do you keep your head cool in those kind of moments?
Really just staying calm, just playing the game like it's 0-0, try to finish every shot, and just try to stay solid and get stops so we can just stay in the game.
Javontae, you've had back-to-back 20-plus point games now. This one was a double-double. How are you kind of keeping this hot streak going for you?
Just wanted to win, wanted to do every little thing for our team, That's just it, just wanted to win.
You guys shot over 50% in the second half. Obviously, it didn't result in things didn't end in the way you wanted. But how do you keep that second half momentum moving into your next game on Friday in the Battle I-75?
Just starting how we did second half. We got to string 40 whole minutes together. We can't just come out second half and want it to play. We got to start from the jump.
Jalen Solinger had 32 today. What made him such a tough guard for you guys?
It was just hard to keep him in front of us. We got to win those one-on-one battles. He was getting to the basket way too easily. That's definitely something that we got to take with pride. Yeah.
You guys, all in all, only had 8 turnovers for the entire game. What positives can you take away from that right there?
Really, turnovers is a big key of the game. So just not turning the ball over as much as a win, but it'll be great to come out with the whole win.
What's the mindset that's going to be preached these next 48-ish hours going into a rivalry, especially second time around, knowing how the first time panned out? What are you guys just going to be saying to each other, practicing?
Stay locked in. We can't lose anymore. We want all 5. So coming to the rivalry game, with our heads down, we can't go 0-2. We want to split it.
More questions for our players? Thank you, guys. Coach, if you'd like to start with an opening statement, we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, kind of along the theme of what we've had in a number of games, we just can't get over that hump. We get these things to a possession game, and we've yet to put together a full 40 minutes, and that's something we've got to continue to address. The loss of Trey Thomas, I thought, hurt us in getting organized for a little bit. Javontae did a great job stepping up at the point guard position, but we certainly need to defend better They won a lot of one-on-one matchups, scored a lot of points in the paint. Things that we really need to shore up in order to have more success. But second half we did a lot of good things on the offensive end. We won the battle on the glass. We have 8 turnovers, and you do those things and holding the 5 threes, you think you give yourself a decent chance. But we were not very good defensively from 2.
Yeah, I mean, just how big of a challenge was it defensively guarding them? I mean, obviously, Solinger got to the rack about whenever he wanted. I mean, but a lot of guys were able to do effective a lot. And just, I mean, how challenging is that team to guard?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you can't have. Solinger's a really talented player. Him and Davis are all conference guys coming back. They did a great job getting most of that team back from last year, and you can see their continuity. Certainly stands out. They know how to play with each other. Their chemistry is fantastic, and they're well connected on both ends of the floor. But they play well off each other, and I think that leads to Solinger finding his spots. And Davis is a tough matchup, particularly with the lineups that we're rolling out. We don't have a great answer for him either.
To only be down 13 at halftime, considering you guys only shot, I think, like 26%, went a really long stretch without a field goal, was that almost like, okay, we're still in this, we're still right there? Is that maybe some sort of mentality coming out of halftime?
Yeah, I mean, we missed 7 layups in the first half, and when you do those things against good teams, bad things are going to happen, and a couple blown coverages, right at the end of half to turn that thing into double digits, and those things are kind of unacceptable. We can't do those things if we're going to get over this hump, but we went in the locker room saying, hey, we did all these things not well. And, if we flip the script here and we're going to go down fighting and we're going to win some of the toughness categories and do some of those things. And that was what we sought to do the second half.
For Javontae to be as effective as he is, basically doing all of his damage in the paint, driving to the basket, free throws, I mean, obviously not really shooting from the outside. What does this say about just how solid he is, getting to the basket, finding ways to create his own shot around the rim? Because obviously these last couple games, he's really, even with the injury, taking it to another level.
Yeah, and he does a great job, and he studies. He hasn't practiced since January 6th. We suit him up for games, and we walk through on the day of, and hope he kind of can figure it out. And so it's a hard way to live, but he's that important to us, and he's done an unbelievable job. He's phenomenally tough. He's competitive. Get 10 rebounds, and he's definitely not the biggest guy on the floor. Can't say enough about the competitor he is.
Coach, you guys have had, and especially in this game, a lot of mental errors, like you mentioned earlier, missed layups, bad fouls at spots of the game, and turnovers as well. What do you think is going to help remedy those errors in the ending of this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we talked about on the bench. I mean, we work on finishing every day, and we spend a ton of time on it, and it's just not translating necessarily to the games. As soon as a body's in there and we're getting hit, and we're not the biggest, strongest, most athletic team, particularly at the guard line, and some of that probably correlates to, we're starting 3 smaller guards, and that's traditionally you're not going to be a great finishing team. Marcus is really only 6'5", 6'6" at the 4 spot, so we're pretty undersized, and so when you're undersized like that, you're going to have to pick your spots. Not every layup is a good one when you don't have the size advantage. So, we've got to legislate those decision making a little bit. Sometimes we might have to kick it out and get another run at it. But those things, and then when you get behind and you start making aggressive fouls like that, you're doing things out of character. So we've got to play with the lead. We got to get out front.
Coach, could you just talk a little bit about Wilguens Jr. Exacte, his performance today? Felt like he was really crucial coming off the bench for you guys.
Yeah, we're asking a lot out of Will, and he's playing some different positions, and we're moving him around. And he had nothing but a spectacular attitude about it. He goes for 11-7, but gets 4 huge offensive rebounds. He plays with passion, plays hard. He's a guy that we need to continue to get probably more and more minutes, and as he's really finding his legs here in the second half of conference play.
And obviously, into that second half, I felt picked up his 4th foul. Can you talk a little about how much that affected your game plan and your defensive game plan moving forward throughout?
Yeah, that really hurts. I mean, obviously he's a +4 when he's on the floor, but he anchors that defense. And without him, we're very, very small. 3 6-footish guards with Marcus and Will, who are probably about 6'5". It's almost a high school size lineup. And we definitely miss him when he's not out there, because there's just no rim protection whatsoever, and puts a lot of pressure on everybody else because there's just not a lot behind that. And he's really good in ball screen coverages, and so taking him off just significantly impacts our defense.
You talked about the team needing to get out faster in the first half. What do you think is the core of that? You think it's energy levels, shot selection? What is the core of why you guys are struggling a little bit, especially out of breaks in that first half?
Yeah, we've been starting games much better here in league play, but with that stretch from about 12 to 4 of the second half, that middle 8 minutes or last 8 minutes of the first half are kind of been our Achilles heel this season. And we've quite frankly, we've got to have more bench production. When we get subbing up, and we've got to find more ways to score when certain guys are off the floor, and then the ball's got to keep moving, and so we get a little stagnant, and we got to remedy that. We've got to find more stops so we can get out and run. It's really hard to score 84 points when you're taking the ball out of the net 50 times like we did today.
Now with another loss, with the games dwindling down in conference play, on top of it being a rivalry game, how important is this game at Savage Arena on Friday now for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, every one of these right now are like tournament level games for us. If we're gonna get to where we want to go, hopefully Trey will be upright for it. That's our number one concern, is to see how he is, but yeah, it's a Toledo game. That's enough for us to get our juices going, but all the rest of it is a nice side byproduct of that.
Any more questions? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.